Welcome to the CryptoWise channel, guys. My name is Dave. In this video, we're going to be talking about XLM bear market targets and accumulation zones to set you up for the next bull market set you up for the next 3 years for 3 years of gains, because this is how the market moves. It moves in cycles. All right. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, please do so. On Bitcoin, you'll better understand why we're in a bear market and why we're looking to accumulate, and not right now as well too. There's timing of this, and we can time the markets. I've done it before. It is possible. It's all about understanding the charts. And one thing that we're really focusing on here is how to read and understand the charts for timing, for ease of decisions. And there's always something in the charts that tells us where the price is going to go to, targets, where to accumulate, where to sell. It's all readable in the charts, and that's what we're talking about here. So in this channel, we focus on macro technical analysis and facts in the charts, so we can have clarity and ease of decision making in the crypto market, laying out highest probability based on chart patterns, confluence, and indicators. No news, no hype, no narrative. Cool, calm, and focused. All right, let's get into it. So XLM. One thing that's important to understand and see with XLM is we have a clear repeated pattern. And we have this massive symmetrical triangle. Now, these symmetrical triangles are pretty great as a way to assess where to buy and where to sell. We have clear levels where the price gets rejected, and we have clear levels where the price gets supported. Right there, this was a higher low, and this got supported here. Now, you could argue maybe the line could be drawn differently at the bottom. Maybe it's more like this, and these are fake outs to the downside, and this just about got supported. But I prefer to give it a bit more breathing room in case there's a wick. Right. Either way, the bottom got supported, even though this one didn't quite make it. It still got supported in that range, in that area. So clear levels of resistance, clear levels of supports, and these are actually separated by bear markets, and these are separated by the bull market tops. So it's a very clear pattern that we have here, and we can rely on this as a way to accumulate and where to sell. Now, one thing that we can look at here, this is the monthly time frame. So if I zoom in here a little bit on the, I think it's the 2 weekly. Yeah. So if I zoom in here on the 2 weekly, we can see that we had a double top pattern, a very big double top here. And we've since broke down, back tested, and went lower. Very much like what happened in this second, well, this would be the third bull market. Let me just see here. 2020. Yeah. So this was the second, third, fourth. This would have been the first, second, yeah. No. Yeah, because that would have been, no, that would have been the first, second here, third, fourth, yeah. So anyway, second bull market top is here. Third bull market top. I really don't want to redo this, so we're just going to flow through it here. So anyways, just like what happened here in the third bull market top, we had another double top as well too, that broke down the neckline, back tested, went lower, consolidated for a while, and then went even lower to reach the bottom of the triangle. Here we have this recent top, this recent bull market top. We made a double top, we broke down, back tested on that green candle, went lower, right? Potentially we consolidate here, and we go lower, touch the bottom of the range of the triangle as a bear market low. It might be over here, and then it's probably sideways for a while, and then we see that upwards move and potentially break out of the triangle. So focusing here on why am I coming up with this bottom? Well, I mean, it's, first of all, the triangle is pretty obvious and very common. What happens in triangles that we see the price always move from the top of the triangle to the bottom, top of the triangle to the bottom, top of the triangle to the bottom, right? Until it decides to pick a direction and either breaks to the upside or to the downside. In this case, I'm favoring upside for this breakout. Eventually, at some point, it will break. The triangle will break. I'm favoring that it's going to go happen to the upside. And I'll make another video at some point soon as to where it could go to. But I believe that this is potentially the absolute best buying opportunity that you're going to see for XLM in the next 4 years. And you might not see this opportunity ever again, because the next cycle could be the one that breaks out of this triangle and you'll never see these prices again or close to it. Right. So what I would say is that, well, just for the triangle thing again, if we look at XRP, it's the same thing that happened except the triangle shaped differently. XRP had a very clear example: cycle peak, cycle low, cycle peak, cycle low, and then it stayed within the triangle until the triangle actually broke out and had a big expansive move. I've been talking about this. I talked about this for 8 months when the price was consolidating inside the triangle. Over here was basically going sideways, and there were a lot of other indicators outside of the triangle itself that were telling us that we were going to have a big move to the upside, and we got that move. Obviously now the price is coming down, but if you've seen if you want to know where to accumulate for XRP, I made a video about it over here. You can check that out. There is a new pattern that's forming for that, so don't rely on this. This is old news. So yeah, you can see that one to get an update about where to accumulate for that, and or, well, I'll be making a video on XRP as well in terms of where the price could go to for the next cycle soon. Okay, so getting back to this, pretty obvious triangle formation. So just by that, it gives me a lot of confidence that we're going to see these lows get tapped. It's more about timing than anything. So because we have a repeated pattern, we can actually use our let's look at targets. We have targets. Every time there's a pattern, there's what's called a measured move price target. So if I do a measured move price targets on, let's see, double top pattern, we can see over here we get this, right? Double top breaks down, double top breaks down, right? Clear double top pattern. Typically we get a pullback and then breaks lower. So we've had that. We've had the pullback, we broke lower. We've had the pullback, we broke lower. But also what we can do is we can measure the distance of the shortest head. Okay, we put it at the neckline of where it broke down, and this gives us a measured move price target of the bottom of the range of this triangle. So if we put it at the point of the breakdown, the target's actually down here. So this is why I have this line kind of like skewed out from this candle close to this wick, because we can see, like on XRP, it's never perfect. Candle close, wick, 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 candle close. Like, just the way it gets supported isn't always exactly by the wicks. Sometimes it's more of a range, right? So I'm considering that for here as well too, because we could drop into this area on a wick, and then that'll be the triangle support and the measured move price target at this double top reached at the same time. So we could see this target get reached, and I'd rather be a bit more conservative with this measured move and take it from the neckline and take it just down a little bit less, because I don't like to be too aggressive with those. It's never perfect. So be somewhere around here at around 11 cents. Okay, so that confluences with a very big support level of over here. So big support level here at around 11 cents. I think that this is an area where we could see this XLM bottom. and right around September, August. They could bottom sooner because XRP and XLM tend to move a little bit differently. But either way, timing wise, I would say timing is kind of challenging to figure out when it would drop there. But I would say between, just for fun, I'll make it on this video, I would say between June so starting in June to end of October. So in this range here, we should reach this blue line. So, and then I would say the highest I could see it going, I'd have to use support and resistance levels. I would say right there. So this is my target right now. It's actually I wouldn't even be shy to start accumulate. Yeah, I would wait for another leg down and see where it goes, because it's likely going to spend some weeks down there. There's no W formation right now. There's no reversal pattern, so there's plenty of time to wait, relax, breathe. I wouldn't even, personally myself, I wouldn't be buying over here. I'd wait for a pattern to form. So this is my target zone and timing. So we got between May 25th and October 26th of this year, between 11 cents and 13 cents would be a heavy accumulation zone for me. And if I see 11 cents, that'd be a strong buy. And in fact, I'd probably have orders sitting down there very soon. So that's what I'd recommend accumulating. Could you accumulate sooner? Sure, but the odds are this triangle will get tapped and we will see that range. If it doesn't happen on the first attempt of the low, it might happen on the second. So maybe it consolidates a little bit like this, goes lower, comes back up, and then it goes lower to tap it like this, for example. Right? Something like that could happen. Kind of similar to here, where it makes a low, comes back up, and then it goes down. It could do something like that, just not as aggressive, because this triangle's getting smaller. So another point of confluence would be if we actually superimpose the price action from the last cycle, from this 2022 bear market, the whole cycle, from where it started expanding here in 2020, including the peak high and then the full bear market low, like this. And I take this and I superimpose it to where we are now. We can see that the target would basically get hit just outside the box. It's not perfect, right? But you know, depending on where you put it, just move that line for a second. If I move it over a little bit, because see where we broke down, it could be like this, right? Give you an idea, right? I mean, where is the double top? You know, here it was very clear it was there. Here is it here? Is it there? You know, it's hard to assess exactly, but we can get, it gives us an idea of how the double top pattern reacted. So we can see that if we have it set up like this, where the middle of the double top is on this first touch point and not the second one, that's what I'm looking at right now, then we see that the bottom actually reaches exactly the box, right? Maybe a little bit lower. And then if we go to the second, then it just outside the box. But I'm sticking to my thesis that this is where it's going to go. But this is another thing to look at. You can see how pretty similar it is, right? And what else? I think that's about it. That covers basic major things. We have a target, a measured move price target that would reach this level of 11 cents. We have an obvious triangle pattern. It's a multi-cycle triangle pattern, right? That to me, like, this would get support. Like, I wouldn't even doubt that this would get supported. If it was planning on breaking this low, let's say, at the very, very least, we would see this area get defended once, and we would see a relief rally at the very least before it decides to break down the triangle like that, right? If that were to happen, right? So regardless, if this triangle was planning to break to the downside or if it was planning to break to the upside, right, then this area would get defended very, very likely. I give it like a 98% probability that this area is going to get defended and held as support before we see the next formation and the price actually decide where it wants to go. Another confluence factor is Bitcoin as well too. You know, we have Bitcoin hasn't bottomed yet, and in fact, if you watched my other Bitcoin video, you would have known where the bear market targets are and why we haven't bottomed yet, and that just plays into confluence for XLM to actually keep going lower. And from where we are now to where it would bottom is still another 34% down, which is quite a bit. So XLM could probably get a leg up higher, maybe get to like 19 cents before it decides to get another leg down. I don't really want to get into that today, but that is basically that. And yeah, I mean, Bitcoin still has a potential big move to the downside left, you know, to get into the 40s, the 40 area. So this is what we're looking at here for the bear market targets. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know if that's helpful. Comment, like, subscribe. Are you going to be purchasing? Let me know if you guys are going to be accumulating down here. I know I will. And if you want to support the channel and you're interested in having 0 fees on buying and selling crypto, please sign up to my referral link for MEXC. You can actually trade 0 fees on MEXC. And also, if you're looking for some one-on-one support, please send me an email via the email in the link, in the email in the description below. All right, guys, until the next one, keep it calm, keep it cool. And remember, technical analysis is always going to give us indicators. So let's rely on that more than emotions. All right, guys. Peace.